Right, welcome back. Now I'm still where I was when I finished the first clip. That's getting you into the application, logging into the application. The first thing you do when you get in is to initialize the different fields in your update settings interface with your own data. Now I have left data in because I imagine, especially for things like expense headings, stock items, and yeah, things like that, you would probably want to retain some of the descriptive descriptions there, especially the cost headings. So I have left them there. Then you can of course make your own decisions. I don't know what the form of accounting system you have in place. That's paper-based system, but you need to have a paper-based accounting system in place, no matter how simple. Something that allows you to track your income and your expenses, and then you will use that as a basis for posting to the application in the Impress table. Okay, now sorry, in the Impress cash book. Now, to get the main menu we're working on, the navigation menu we're working on back up, just press the click anywhere in the spreadsheet and press the enter key on your keyboard. That's one option. If I do that now, it gives me this dialog box. I click yes and it loads the menu. Okay, that's one option. Another option is just click this button here. It's always going to appear on your top left on your screen. Check, you will see that the main menu button, the save button, the auto fit columns button, these four buttons, no, these three buttons especially, on every spreadsheet will appear. The save button, as the name implies, is for saving. Right, so I'll just close this navigation menu. But just before I do that, let me explain that this button here allows you to go to where you have the list of all the names of people who can log in and log out, the usernames and passwords. You can add other people as users as well, give them passwords, and they will log in and log out like you. The difference is that you will be an authorized user in certain areas. There are certain things they will log in, they will not be able to do. Okay, it's a simplistic, it's much more simplistic compared to some of the more sophisticated applications, but at least it controls people and prevents them from just accessing your workbook anyhow, like they would a normal Excel file. Okay, so I'll explain what these other fields are about, but for now let me just close this. So here, suppliers, who are the people that supply you drugs for your birds? Who are the people that supply you feed? Well, you told me you use some top feed products. So here you put in the names of all your suppliers, be they individuals or company. Your distributors are people that sell your products. Okay, you may decide to categorize them, where many of my clients just have one group of buyers, the same purchase range. But then the people I first built these applications for actually had three levels of buyers. There were the people who were distributors, they were really big distributors, they bought large quantities, and then there were the retailers, and then there were the others who came for 1 or 2 bags every now and then the retailers who would probably come for 10 bags in a week or something like that. You may decide to group them for whatever reason. So the application allows you to do that. You have about 3 levels of buyers. You can see buyer types. Now all these go into menus in the spreadsheets we'll later look at. For instance, supplies schedule. You find that inside there are in-cell drop-down menus that automatically allow you to choose these names, so that when you're making your entry you don't have to type. And it's important because the application is going to expect you to spell the name of each supplier or each entry you make. Spell it exactly as it's written. For instance, expense headings, things like this. So you need to fill in these fields before you start. I imagine your stock items, there's 3 stock items that are taken care of in the stock movement table I created. It was for the layers feed, growers feed, and chicks mash. The distributor, of course, you have the names for your own people, you put them in there, and as they come you add more names, there's no restriction, just put in the names you have. Now if you scroll to the right, okay, this one is just the method in which you receive money. You will see where it becomes relevant when we get to the purchase and the supply schedule and the sales schedule. Okay, now the income heads, the various ways in which money comes into your enterprise, you will need to specify here. Basically, for most poultry enterprises, they are more or less the same. I make changes to this only very rarely, and basically these are all these things. I mean, you eventually sell your layers off, so you have to provide for all layer sales. Then you have cracked eggs, small eggs, medium. You decide on how you determine what category of eggs you have. Then of course the bank accounts you have, this will be relevant to your Impress cash book. It needs you to specify the bank from which money is coming for the Impress. As I said, you should have a basic even if some kind of bookkeeping arrangement you do that enables you to keep track of money coming in and going out. That's a totally different thing. I've had to work with clients to set up such systems by bringing in the consultant, and then the consultant guided me on how to prepare the application to take in data from the paper-based system they set up. All right, then if you have vehicles, these are the different Impress particulars. Now I will come back to this in a separate video to explain this. This is important in terms of you making entries into your broiler data entry table, your layers data entry table, and your chicks data entry table. So I'm going to have to come and explain this in a separate video so that this one doesn't get too long. And then finally we have two columns here, again relevant to the 3 pens, the 3 boiler pen, the layers pen, and the chicks pen. And one for your vaccines and one for the drugs you administer. You just the list. I'm going to talk about these ones in a separate video when I save this video. All right.